All right, hi everyone, welcome back. We are still playing the hot and wet map. And let's just have a look at the progress indicator. So I've updated the logs. We are probably about short of half done. And I think, the current aim is to just continue doing that. So let's get on with it. So in the last episode, we hooked up a whole bunch of things onto road vehicles, which may or may not prove to be a smart idea, but these are pretty low capacity items. So building, you guys make building materials. I'm sure we'll find a spot for it, basically, such as this. For the time being, I'm just going to drop them off here. Will I? Supply yard. How's the supply yard? B yard. Supply yard. Supply yard's back up there. There was one here, or not. And well, here's the thing. This is never going to be a particularly busy yard. So I'm still tempted to just dump it here for now anyway. And then we can reconsider the position at some future point. Probably one would do. Almost certainly. Okay, let's have a look at more forests. So there's one there. Obviously, we could take it there. There's no timber yard. Is there forest there? What are you? You're a timber yard. In fact, you're the more or less on the timber yard. Okay, so why don't we deal with these 3, 4 forests? That's a good one. Where are you? That's not such a great one. That's vaguely acceptable. I mean, we'll pretty much just have to acknowledge the fact that some of these will not be making money. I could collect these two. Which is probably what I'll do. There's no supply yard nearby, so why don't we? I really don't like it. This is not flat. Chemicals, we'll need to take that at some point. It's not what I'm looking for though. So farm supplies could be taken from here. It's not a no. I'm not a yes either. But that was never got finished. You have engineering supplies, which is great, except it's not what I want. So I think we're just going to nick it from here. Really effing far out, but like, okay, can we find something less effing far out? This is less effing far out. This is even less effing far out. That's pretty flat. So I think we'll take it from here, but that airport needs to go up. I know this one. This is some terrible, terrible thing. Okay, give me a few of these. See how they go. One, and then this goes to the neighborhood, which I've now totally lost. So so if this is going to triple to about 400, I don't know. I'm just going to run a whole bunch of trains and they're just going to stop in places. It's not the bestest idea, but it tends to work. And then we just turn to this one. Or probably this one because it's a bit farther from the. Do I care? I probably care because I need to level this place and okay. Heavy. So the drop off's going to be just here for now, and then we'll take things lighter. Actually, that should just go off there. Gosh, you're slow. No, don't do that. This is stupid. this should go into the starting point, which is that one. Idiot. Technically, really. Okay. So I expect that by this point, both of these forests are doing just fine, or else. So this should gung ho. Log 5. I think we'll need at least this many. And then there's supposed to be a forest pretty much someplace here. Yeah, that one. Just kind of bugs my OCD. Can I do that? No, of course. Okay, this is generally a stupid as hell layout. There you go. Vaguely less stupid. I don't even think we need to, but hey ho. Why aren't you timetabled, buddy? We'll definitely need a third one, because this only takes about 500 odd tons. 6, and there's already you supposed to be timetabled. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We might need an extra one. Yeah, I still think we might need a second one. Third one. Right. Notwithstanding any of that, this needs to go there. Just checking, there's another forest up there, which isn't a particular. Actually, I could just bring it here. The timber yard there. There's no timber yard anywhere, so these two forests will need to hook in as well. Why did I? I did not. I know what happened there. So we're not going to use this because of reasons. Would load logs. Where's the other one? Here. My problem is the lack of timber yard. There's like none. There's so little traffic here. I don't think this will get used as a. I don't even know what that is. A lock. Where the am I? Almost there. Not in the bestest spot. Okay, why don't we do this? Duh. I was unnecessarily pointless. Right. So yet again, I don't really expect this to make any money whatsoever. Furthermore, we've lost our signals. Nope. So if I'm not using this, then I'm using that. Yep. I mean, what would be the more sensible thing to do, but I'm not going to, is to actually check the cargo pricing and then figure out which is less bad to age, logs or timber, and do it accordingly. I'm sure there's a rule of thumb like processed or natural raw goods, but I don't know it and I don't so much care. Yeah, I keep going. Stupid thing. Love it, just turns around, there's no actual layout, but never mind. I should check that this is the right place because I've had issues before where I just sent stuff off to stupid and beyond. Yeah, because it should be coming here. And then I was wholly surprised that it wasn't working. Nope. In which case this needs to be here, not there. Ah, this will never work. You make building materials, not what I need. You have farm supplies, which is kind of what I need, but I think this is already dropping off a bit. Tempted anyway, because otherwise these are really going to be shafted. Mm, the small ones do reasonable speeds. Don't do that. So at least if I could bump one, aka this, I don't think we need that many. That would be useful. I think we just have to acknowledge that some of these don't work money-wise. I think there's going to be a new feature. Yeah, there's going to be a search window here. I saw that. Don't know when it's coming. I wish there was a search feature in this. So why are you so terrible? Okay, we are going to replace these. So now you have no train coming here. Fine. So now you have no train stopping here either. Okay. Why are you stupid? Clearly. There you go. Now that I did all this, there you go. Back where it was. Logs. Okay, so you still do crap. Clone me a few of these. Transfer. Like, clone me 4. And then do that again. In fact, I think, oh no, it's not this one. Okay, you go and you start here. Do the same crap. Make it 5 because it's a bit far there. Doesn't come here much. So we make 1,000 odd tons of the good stuff. And I think I wouldn't throw in a fourth chain. I know they've been stuck and all that, but okay. So we want to come up here. Probably this way, less complicated. Okay, I don't like how half of this goes. Like long trains having to bridge over stupid tram lines is not acceptable. Shut up. No, you're not lost. Shut up. some such. Cool. I don't really think we'll need that many, but timber 5. So we're hereabouts. And then supply yard, which is far up there. I want to leave it for now because I think there are other things that require building materials. We're not currently dealing with any of that yet. You're coming almost empty. Fine. Okay. How are we doing in terms of the numbers? So logs, about, eh, oh great, not terrible. Still quite a bit to go. Oops. Just want to triple check we've included things which we have not. So that's okay. So the next batch is going to be these 3. Do I? Nah. Sorry. The problem is I still only have that timber yard, so everything will have to go up there. Got about 13 minutes. How did we end up with a 1x1? Would load. Ah, it's fucking 2 of them. Would just make life so much easier if I could squeeze some such. Bit of a cheat, not the least, because I won't be able to come around, but totally natural hills. Actually, this is not required. This is in, this is out. So if this is in, then bridge. Because one of these is a 300 and they're kind of next to each other. I'm tempted to plop I don't even need to plop a large airport because this is already covering it. Almost there. Now have about 10 minutes. Could do. Bit extreme. This is particularly ugly. Don't get ideas. I keep effing this up. Okay. I think that's fine. Just looks odd. So we'll definitely run fives here because we'll do something about conquering those two forests and then it's going to get busy. Start with that. And I want an airport. Honestly, I'm not sure if this was really necessary, but small. Weirdly enough, it's necessary. All right, where do we find? I know that this is. There must be something close there. Lol. Bit of a sharp drop off. We probably have a whole bunch of other places, but they don't show because they're not being pulled. How about this? You do goods and shit. Issue with this map is that it does engineering supplies and farming supplies separately. Which is not helping at all. Mind you, that's the only supply yard. Back. I'm not going to have time for this. I was hoping to play a bit of the other map, but I'll just keep continuing this if no one pokes me on the other laptop. I want to record a bunch of sessions, not the least because I'm going to be off if all goes to plan. Not yet, but from your perspective, shortly. This won't do much because I haven't finished that track, which is known. It's a slightly odd reference to Game of Thrones. And if you haven't watched it, there were a whole bunch of these so-called gnome wisdoms that had absolutely no basis. Like imagine saying something like, in the continent of such and such, this is such and such. It is known as like, no, it's not. And none of you've ever been there. Time's up. Okay, we don't want that. We do want these. So we'll take the timber. I want to finish this and then that will be it for the day. I want to take the building material. In which case this really is a goods. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll continue from here to drop farm supplies via planes. Any thoughts, comments? Let me know, please. Bye bye.